individually, a lot of times you're going to send the same email to everybody. Okay, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. If you look on, can I just have that page back again? If you look on the page which is step 2, email marketing, if you're going to send the email, same email to everybody, at least use the BCC function. Okay, BCC function means that you can send the email to multiple people, and they won't see everybody else that you sent that email to. Believe it or not, a lot of people, they list all the emails out. The person receives the email, they don't feel special, not at all. Like, geez, I'm one of 20 people that got the same exact email. At least if it's BCC, they know other people got it, but again, they don't know how many people got it.
And privacy.
And privacy, again, you're giving away other people's information. Very good. Okay. Can I have that back again? Can we get? Sorry. We'll get, you guys share, and we'll give you one there. Okay. So you get your email done. You send your initial email. After that, we need to be able to keep in touch with people initially through email. We need to stay on the radar screen. Easiest way to do that, and what I suggest, is to start a newsletter. Something that you can email out to people periodically, once a month, once a week, whatever it is. It should be somewhat related to your topic, but it should not be overly technical. And it doesn't have to relate exactly. So an example, I have a buddy, Steve, from Pinpoint Computers. He's a computer fix-it guy. He'll send out an email talking about Google tips and tricks. Now, Google tips and tricks is not related to computer repair, but it's in the same sphere. The same people receiving that email are the type of clients that he wants to keep his name out in front of. So again, it doesn't have to be exact, but it should be somewhat in the same sphere of what you're sending out. Now, can I get a show of hands? How many people have a newsletter at this point that they are sending things out? Okay, that's great. Keep your hands up for a second. Now, how many of you track your statistics after you send that email? Leave your hands up. All right. It's actually very good, because most people, and for the people that don't have it, some of this may be redundant, but I'm going to talk about some of the statistics to look at when you're sending out emails. Okay? Unfortunately, when you're sending out, if you're doing step 1 properly, your email list is starting to grow at the foundation. You want to make sure you get people's permission first before you add them to the newsletter. But that newsletter, that list is going to start growing and growing and growing. Unfortunately, because of spam and the way things are, we can't just go into our email anymore, hit a button, and hit send, even if you hit the BCC button. A lot of the providers out there, they're limiting how many emails you can send each day. And also, with the way spam is, people aren't getting the emails. So we're forced to go in, we're forced to use a third-party bulk mail sender. Okay, I listed a couple of them for you on the next page. There's a system called Aweber, which I like a lot. Very easy to use. There's iContact is another one. Third one is the one that I personally use. It's called the Lyra System through NetAtlantic. For anybody that's just starting out, I do not recommend that one. It's not very user-friendly, but it has some features that the other ones do not have. Yes?
I think Constant Contact's probably easier.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Constant Contact, but I'll tell you that at the end if you have time. For the basic stuff, yes. For advanced stuff, being able to segment lists the way I need to, like for a beginning, it's fine. But I'll go into, if you bring that up at the end, if we have time, I'll be glad to go into that again.
Also, StreamSend.
StreamSend I had is a disaster. I'm going to talk about that. Just hold that thought for a second, and I'm going to get to that, things to watch out for. I used StreamSend for a long time, and you got to be careful. And I'll be glad to talk to you at the end. And please don't send this video to StreamSend. Okay, things that you need to watch out for when you're sending your emails. Okay, the next page. This is an example that came out of my email system. All right, I have 2 different lists. When I'm not running business networking events, I'm helping singles find love. So these are 2 different lists. The first one says that I sent out, it says tracking successfully sent. It says I sent out 4,010 emails on 7/16/09. 100% of them were sent. The next one says on 7/13, a few days before, I sent out 9,300 plus emails, and 100% were sent. And when I first started with this, I'm like, wow, this is great. All my emails are going out. No. All this means is that from my provider, again, I'm using the Lyra system right now. When I send that email out, according to Lyris, that email was sent successfully. That is all that is saying. What that's not discussing is what happens on the back end. Okay? It's not as easy when you send out an email to somebody. I'm going to talk just as people that are familiar with this. Forgive me, I'm going to just keep it in real basic terms. When you send an email out, there is a middleman in between. There's a middle computer. Okay? That middle computer is on the next page. That middle computer is going to decide what happens to the email that you sent. And one of four things is going to happen. That email is either going to go into the inbox and that person's going to read it. Secondly, it might go into the spam folder, and most likely they are not going to read it. Okay, anybody that is using bulk senders right now to send Yahoo, talk to me after if we have any time. I'd be glad to tell you something else, but be very careful. Most of the Yahoo emails, actually at least half the Yahoo emails that I send are going into the spam folder. I've had to use another system to really circumvent that, and if we have time at the end, I'll tell you. Okay, the third example of what can happen is a bounce. What happens is you send your email, it hits this middleman, the middleman says there is nobody there with that email, it's going to get bounced back to you, so at least you get a record of it. What scares me the most is number 4. It's going to get lost in cyberspace. Okay? An example of this, I had about a year ago, people were calling me, they're like, Jay, you know, we're not getting your emails. I'm like, okay, well, I go and I say, I look and it says successfully sent. I said, did you check your spam folder? They said, yeah, I checked my spam folder, it's not there. So this went on for about a month until I figured out a trend was going on. Everybody that was calling me was from Opt Online. So anybody work for Cablevision here? You do?
No.
No. Don't let Cablevision hear this, okay? But what I ended up doing was I figured out that it's problems on Opt Online's end. So I called Lyris. They were, all these companies are supposed to have connections with the big ISPs. Take that with a grain of salt, in my opinion. I called Cablevision directly, and I said, listen, I'm getting complaints, people are not getting my emails, and again, you're messing around my business here. The woman took my name, my information, she said, well, we'll see what we can do, we'll put it into our tech department.